Hey guys, I've been out here in the Northwoods for the last week and a half. Been running the Garmin Alpha 10. Dogs and I are taking a quick break here. They're still pretty amped up because it's pretty early in the morning. But I just thought I'd show you a few things that are on the Garmin Alpha 10. Since it's new out right now, I did do the unboxing and I'm sure you guys have watched that, but now I've had a chance to use it and I'll show you some of the features. So right now, just so you can see, I've got it hooked to my vest, my left vest pocket, which is opposite of my shell pocket. So my shells are over here, and I've got my control unit over here. But I'll unhook it just to show you. I'm not sure that this is where I'm going to end up keeping it, but it's where I've been running it this week, just because I don't like it up here around where my shotgun is going to be or hanging. It's got a clip as well, but I may try clipping it onto the actual belts. As you can see, Rio's running the TT15 mini collar with this. But I just thought I'd show you the screen. So, because I didn't get a chance to do all that during the unboxing, but now I've got it powered up and I've been able to use it so I can show you kind of what I've learned, although I'm not a directions guy. So I certainly don't have everything read up in the book. I like to, throw it to the field. But real quick, right off the bat, you can kind of see the screen. I'll show you that real close here. And it's very simplified compared to the other GPS tracking collars, and I like that. I don't want to be a slave to a screen. Now, of course, you can always pair it to your watch. I've got it paired to my watch, although I don't run it in dog tracking mode right now because I generally don't like looking at my watch or any kind of screen. The way I'm using my GPS collars, and specifically this Garmin Alpha 10, is I'm using it to track Rio and communicate with her in the event that she gets disconnected from me somewhere in the woods. So as you see back on the home screen, I'll just kind of show you the home screen itself. Very simple, and you toggle through. But what I like about it is it's got a real simplified, and they've gone to what I'm guessing is the most used features of the other collars and just kind of dropped it down into this very small, very battery efficient black and white unit. So use the toggles to toggle through the screens and you can do setup stuff. Of course, it's going to tell you the time. But the cool part here is it's got a mark truck feature. So bam, your truck's marked now for your hunt. And then also over here, it's got a start hunt feature. So both those things, basically, once you power the system up and power the collar up, and away you go, it'll start tracking the amount of time you have on the hunt, and it'll also show you exactly where the truck is in relationship to you. So I think that that's really cool, and I like that as the home screen. But really the screen I end up using the most then is if you just kind of click through, it's going to show me, of course it'll show me Rio's right here on top of me. It also gives me a truck icon that shows me where the truck is in relationship up here at the top, so it shows you your directional, and it'll show you where Rio is. She's right now 3 yards away from me because she's sitting right here, of course. And it also shows you that the truck itself, where that is in relationship to where you are. Now, the one thing that I'm having a little bit of an issue with, and it's just because of my lack of wanting to not look at the screen, is that when you clip this on the side like this, then it's not exactly sure of where it is in orientation. When I hold it in my hand, as you would to read it, obviously it's showing me the direction of Rio, also the direction of the truck, which is right here. But when I clip it on my side, it doesn't necessarily then reflect the actual direction of where Rio would be in the field. Now, that's okay for me in most times because I'm not using it to indicate where she is. I generally have her working fairly close and keep a pretty good eye on her, but I'm using it if she gets lost in cover. So I'm going to have to kind of figure out a solution. I'll either fire up the watch and break down to do the dog training on that, or I'll look at clipping it in a different place on my vest or on my belt. Now, the other thing you can do, obviously, is it pairs with the Garmin Explorer app, and I'll just fire up my phone and show you. I haven't lit this up yet today, but there's Garmin Explorer, and it'll just show you. Let me go to the app itself. Fairly basic. I'll zoom in. We've done some running around in here, but you can kind of see. It'll show you the tracking, and then if I go to the library and I just go, okay, go to today. We just did a quick little walk because I wanted a track to show you. It's the 2nd. So I have a library of events in here, and the 2nd, we just did a little walk in here so I could show you, and it will show you, okay, there's what that looks like. It shows you Rio and the truck. You know, we didn't go very far in there, but it just gives you a view of what that would look like. So yeah, I like that it pairs with the phone. I generally don't have my phone out either when I'm running specifically in the field. So again, just trying to figure out how I'm going to use the technology. And then of course it's got the training features on it as well. We don't use hunting scenarios as training features, but I've got Rio set up as tone right now, and this is how I use her as a communication device, so I don't have to yell or whistle in the field. So she knows that when I beep her, that means to come back. You can see that she's already like, I'm here, why are you beeping me? So yeah, the tone is what I'm using as the communication device. So if I feel like she's gotten too far out, or I can see that she's more farther out than I like, then I'll just tone her and she'll come back to me and check in. So that's how I'm using the collar. Although if you want to, you can use the toggle switch and you can toggle over, and you can obviously change the tone from tone to vibrate to continuous stem to momentary stem, but of course we're keeping it on tone all the time. So that's basically how I'm using the collar. There are other features, and you can go much more in depth with this, but what I need the collar to do is basically be my communication device so I can hunt silent in the field. So I don't have to yell for her ever. And I don't need a collar on. You can obviously run multiple dogs. I don't generally need a collar on Ida. She's a close working flushing dog, so I don't have to collar her up. I always have her close by. She's used to that. So yeah, that's kind of the basics on it. Two things that I can tell you: the battery life on it's really good. Maybe the one thing that I'm not a huge fan of is that button for the training is pretty low profile and also fairly rigid. So it's not the easiest button to hammer when you are in the field, especially with wet gloves on. So maybe that's one thing I'm not a huge fan of. And the toggle is sensitive. For me, it's really a sensitive kind of toggle. In some ways that's good, but when you have gloves on, it's a little less ideal for me. But generally speaking, what I'm doing is I'm running it either on the home screen or on the basic dog screen, and I just leave it up and running. I've been, I think this is my 4th or 5th day out. It's still got half battery, so great battery life. It's working really well with the TT15 mini collar, and yeah, I think it's a good option for me and for guys who don't want to be a slave to the screen, but want the extra level of safety and security and knowing where your dogs are. I think this is a great option. I think it's going to be something that we're going to use a lot this year. So there you go. Quick look at the screens on the Garmin Alpha 10. Certainly follow along the rest of the season. We'll be running this, and although we've been up here in the Northwoods of Maine for the last week and a half, way Upland Season 3, we are right there at the edge of launching. I haven't really told anybody where we're going, but make sure you stay tuned in. We're going to do some live stuff hopefully this year, not just the season. So yeah, all that's coming up. I hope everybody's having a great Upland kickoff this year, and make sure you get outside and enjoy some of this fall weather.